Hey guys, I am DKA and I am here bringing you a Magic Draft. I know most of you guys have probably figured out what a Magic Draft is by now, because a lot of you guys have watched a lot of my videos before, but for those of you who are new, a draft is when you get together with some other Magic players in real life, and you open a few packs. You take one card out of each pack, pass it to the left, and then the other people in the draft are going to pass you cards also, and then in the end you'll have a 40 card deck, including lands. You don't have to get the lands from the packs, obviously, you just get them elsewhere. So anyway, I open up this pack, and this, by the way, this is actually going to be the last Innistrad Dark Ascension Innistrad draft that I'll probably do for a very, very long time, since avacyn Restored pre-release is this weekend, so it's going to be really exciting. I am definitely pretty psyched for it. But anyway, I opened up a Hollow Increasing Devotion, so that's probably pretty much going to definitely be my first pick. There's a lot of other good cards in that pack, so I mean, they're all cards that are just like, okay, if you don't have a super broken rare, you can take it first pick, like Wild Hunger, Tragic Slip, Fires of Undeath. And then this pack, I make a decision. I decide to pick up the Drogskol Captain, trying to go into blue-white spirits, but there was also a couple of really, really good cards that I could have taken for my deck. There was a Gather the Townsfolk, a Lothar, and an Avacyn's Collar. And I'm really thinking more about the Avacyn's Collar, but it probably would have been the best choice for me in that position. The Drogskol Captain isn't nearly as good as some people rate it to be, including me. Being one of those people, I take a Strangleroot Geist here because there's absolutely no blue or white cards in the pack. So I'm just like, alright, I just take the highest power card, plus I can go green-white if the blue stops flowing like it did. But I just thought that maybe, I mean, second pick obviously can't be a signal, because the person to my right could have opened a really, really good rare. So there's no way that you can say, oh yeah, he passed me a Drogskol Captain, that's definitely going to be open. So I think I should have taken the Avacyn's Collar, since I already had Increasing Devotion, so I know I'm going to have humans. If you got the Avacyn's Collar and Increasing Devotion out, and it's pretty much going to be game over. So that probably would have been the pick in retrospect, but I did end up taking the Drogskol Captain. Then I take a Kessig Recluse, because as I just said, there's really not much white and blue in these packs, almost nothing, and definitely nothing worth taking. So I ended up having to go with that, which is a little bit unfortunate, because as I said, I passed up the Avacyn's Collar, so and I have the Drogskol Captain. I kind of want to be in blue-white, but just doesn't seem like it's flowing. And then in this pack, there's just, again, there's almost nothing. But the positive thing that comes out of these first few picks, other than the fact that I get some really strong cards, other than Skillful Lunge cards, not great, is that I put the person to my left of me in heavy red. I kept passing him Rack with Madness, I passed him Blood Feud, and just lots of really good red cards. And then this pack is just really, really confusing to me, because as I've said, the second pick I had was Drogskol Captain, and then after that I had a whole lot of no blue packs, and then there's this pack which has got a Niblis of the Breath and a Nefalious Seakite. So I'm basically taking this as a signal as, hey guys, blue is wide open. The problem is there's two really good white cards in this pack too, in Niblis of the Mist and Elgon Inquisitor. So it's just a really tough decision. Do I want to take the pretty good card in the Mist or the Elgon Inquisitor, or do I want to take the almost bomb in Niblis of the Mist? It's not really a bomb, it's just a really, really good control-y card, but I think I end up going with the Niblis of the Breath here, and so that makes my second really, really strong blue card, giving me a good reason to go into blue. And I think that both Niblis of the Breath and Drogskol Captain are better than Strangleroot Geist or Kessig Recluse, even though those are both really good cards. So I'm kind of leaning towards trying to get into blue here, blue-white, but I am leaving myself open, because I know I'm going to be in white. I have Increasing Devotion, and I don't know. So anyway, then there's this pack, which again, no blue, no white. I'm just going to spoil it here a little bit, but the person to my right actually was in blue the entire draft, and the reason why he passed up the Niblis of the Breath was because he decided to take a Death Caress, and that was probably a good choice for him, because he really wanted that removal spell. It was a very, very late removal spell, so that was probably a good choice for him, but it really like messed with me a little bit. If he had taken the Niblis of the Breath and there was a Death Caress and a Nefalious Seakite in that pack, I don't think I would have taken the Nefalious Seakite. The Nefalious Seakite is about as equal value as the Elgon Inquisitor or the or the Nibbles of the Mist, and I probably would have just kept my options open and gone for the Nibbles of the Mist. So here there's another Skillful Lunge, but you never really want to run 2 Skillful Lunges in your deck. That's just too many mediocre cards. And then there's a Falcon Rot Torture, I think, which is in black, which obviously I'm not going to take, and a Headless Gob. So I'm going to go with the Headless Gob just in case the green isn't coming next pack and I decide to actually stay in blue. It's not a great card, but it is playable. It's a 3/6 for 3 if you can manage to get it out, and though it does come into play tapped afterwards, it's kind of really annoying to deal with, so it's okay. Then I get a 4th to last pick Haunted Fangraph, which is about where that card should go, maybe even later. But I actually ended up running it, and I enjoy it. It's a pretty interesting card, and it's pretty good, so I definitely like it. I get Favor of the Woods here. It's a terrible card. Enchant your creature. If it blocks, you gain 3 life. It's just terrible. And then I get Clinging Mist, which is really not as bad. I mean, I take Mystic Retrieval last, which is a good card, but only if you're running blue-red, and pretty much nobody runs blue-red. Anyway, as I was saying, Clinging Mist is really not such a great card, but if you need to run it, you can. So anyway, second pack I open Mana Gargoyle as my rare, which is definitely a good card to run, and it's a pretty good rare, but Fiend Hunter is just way, way, way better for me. Fiend Hunter is one of the better cards that you can actually open. It's one of the better uncommons in white, I would say. So I'm definitely going to grab the Fiend Hunter. It's going to be a pretty good card for me, as you guys see when I actually upload the games for the draft. But anyway, this pack is pretty good also. It's got some decent cards overall, like a Blazing Torch and a Morkwood Banshee, as well as a Screeching Bat. And then there's Mausoleum Guard, which is obviously going to be my pick here. Mausoleum Guard is so good, and give you guys a little bit of a heads up, but Haunted Fangraph and Mausoleum Guard is pretty cool together, especially if Mausoleum Guard is the only creature of yours to die. So anyway, there's 2 cards in this pack that are basically relevant. Elder Cathar and Thraben Sentry. Elder Cathar and Thraben Sentry are both really, really good cards, and they're kind of funny because they both do sort of opposite things, but you want to kind of build them both in the same deck. You want to have them in a deck where you don't mind your creatures dying, because when they die, they help other things, so like Doom Traveler, Mausoleum Guard, stuff like that, and Elder Cathar falls under that category, and Thraben Militia wants to be in that deck because he benefits when your creatures die, so they kind of go well together, and I decided that I wanted the creature that benefited more when my other creatures died. So then here is Unruly Mob, who also belongs in that category, but obviously I'm going to take, well, not obviously, I'm going to take the Silver Inlay Dagger, though, because that's definitely the best card in the pack. I mean, Clifftop Retreat's a couple of bucks, so that wouldn't be terrible to draft here, but I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm just trying to scrounge for playables at this point, and we're about halfway through pack 2, and I don't even really know my second color. I know I'm in white, but I definitely don't know the other color, because, I mean, I got a lot more white passed to me in this pack for some reason, and I take the Silver Inlay Dagger. I have a bunch of humans, so it's really, really cool. There's an Intangible Virtue in this pack, but I don't even see it. The only 2 cards that I really see here are Voiceless Spirit and Festerhide Boar, and I'm definitely going to go with the Voiceless Spirit. It's such a good card, and Festerhide Boar is in green, and I'm not even sure if I'm in green yet. There's a Back from the Brink here, too. I guess maybe that could have put me in blue. I don't know. But it's a really, really strong card. I'm surprised it went that late. I guess nobody was really in blue and wanted that kind of card. So here's the Selfless... This pack is going to mess with my mind forever. But Selfless Cathar is okay, but there's a Cloistered Youth and Invisible Stalker. I just picked up the Dagger, and Invisible Stalker with Dagger is hilarious. Puts them on a 5-turn clock, and if they've taken damage already, even less. And you can get that thing out turn 3. You can play Stalker turn 2, Dagger turn 3. So and I'm not sure, I'm not in blue yet, so this is actually kind of taunted. Like, Invisible Stalker has a way higher upside than Cloistered Youth, though Cloistered Youth is a really good card. It's a 2-cost 3/3, so it's very, very good in an aggro deck, which is sort of what this deck is turning out to be. And then there's also Invisible Stalker, so I'm really, really at a loss of what to do here. I end up going with the Invisible Stalker, and then the next pack immediately punishes me for going with this Invisible Stalker, because I'm going to get a green-white staple. I'm going to get Avacyn's Pilgrim here, so there's really not much I can do about it. Definitely gonna have to, I mean, this doesn't completely put me in green-white, but it says, DKA you probably should be in green-white. Avacyn's Pilgrim's a very, very good card for this green-white archetype, especially with Increasing Devotion, because that basically means that you can get your Increasing Devotion out, like, you can get out turn 4 instead of turn 5, and then this pack is also, there's a whole lot of nothing, and then a Grizzled Outcast. So I'll take the Grizzled Outcast here and pretty much cement the fact that I'm going to be in green-white. I really need to make a decision now and just pick up some playable cards, because being a little bit hesitant in the first few packs really hurts me. Also the fact that this pack is completely in blue-black, and I just decided that I'm not running blue. But blue, I mean, Spectral Flight is also kind of funny on an Invisible Stalker, just because it makes it a 3/3. Now, I mean, the flying obviously doesn't really matter much. But anyway, then there's this pack, which has a Screeching Bat, which I could just hate out of the pack because it's the best card in the back, or Stitcher's Apprentice. And now I'm just like, well, maybe I will go back into blue. Stitcher's Apprentice would be pretty cool in this deck, especially with an Unruly Mob and Thraben Sentry. Both of those things work really, really well with your Stitcher's Apprentice. So, and then like I can sack my humans to make them homunculi, and it would have been an interesting concept. But here's actually a really funny pick. I took a Gnaw to the Bone here, and the person to the right of me was playing Spider Spawning, so he probably would have ended up taking that Gnaw to the Bone, and it would have really, really helped him out. So that's good. Take an Urgent Exorcism here. Urgent Exorcism is a decent sideboard card. I know that there was one person in the draft who was running Endless Ranks of the Dead, so that would have been a great thing to Urgent Exorcism. And then take a second to last pick non-playable card, and then I get a last pick also non-playable card, so just random cards. So anyway, here's the third pack, and this pack I don't really, well, actually, I mean, I open crazy good cards, just not for my color. I open two of the best red cards that you can see, Instigator Gang and Charmbreaker Devils. I also open Barrow Rights, Village Bellringer, Festeride Board, Unruly Mob, and Morkid Banshee, I guess, is also pretty good in this pack. So it's a pretty good pack. Think Twice is also here. And again, I'm still thinking, am I in blue or am I in green? I still don't know, but if anything is going to make my decision, it is the second Avacyn's Pilgrim. Having two Avacyn's Pilgrim is really good. Like, having two of any good card is obviously a plus, but if you have two Voiceless Spirits, then yeah, alright, so you get a 2/1 flyer out more often. But Avacyn's Pilgrim just makes your entire deck run smoother. It just allows you to get that turn 4 Increasing Devotion, or turn 4, or turn 3 Keswick Recluse, or something crazy good like that. And it just lets you get it consistently. So I'm going to take the Avacyn's Pilgrim, and I'm going to be like, okay, I'm definitely in green now. I'm not going to flip-flop anymore, and I don't think I do for the rest of the draft. So that's definitely good. It's something that needed to be done a long time ago. I should have made my decision in the first pack once I stopped seeing any blue cards. I should have just been like, okay, I'm in green-white here. Don't take any blue cards. Take that Elgon Inquisitor or that Nibbles in the Mist, whichever. I don't even know. Like, if I had that choice, then it would have been pretty tough. I guess I probably would have taken the Elgon Inquisitor since I was already going for a human slant. But I also should have taken that Absence Scholar second pick instead of the Drogskell Captain. I'm just so jumpy when it comes to blue-white because I think it's such a good archetype that I really wanted to jump in it, but it obviously was not open for me this draft considering the person to my right is in blue. So I definitely could not have gotten that kind of thing. But here, I mean, I'm looking through the entire pack, but the real decision is Dark Thicket Wolf or Gastaff Howler. Both cards are pretty good, and I take the Gastaff Shepherd, and like the funny thing is they're both 2/2s for 2, and one of them has the ability to be a 4/4, but you have to pump mana into it. The other one has Intimidating 3/3, but it has to flip to the werewolf side. And I mean, if I've got an Avacyn's Pilgrim, I don't really want to be flipping my werewolves. So I don't know. It's really interesting because they're very, very similar cards. But I ended up going with the Gastaff Shepherd, and I don't know. Maybe I could have used the other one too. Either would have been fine, but here there's not really much in my colors. I could have taken a Sharpened Pitchfork, which obviously would not be terrible considering my human count is pretty high. So +1/+1 in First Strike for 2 to play and 1 mana to equip is really, really powerful. But I'm going to grab the Ulvenwald Mystics here. And it's a pretty good creature, but again, it's a werewolf, and these werewolves are really frustrating to flip if you really need to play spells every turn, so it doesn't work out too well in my deck. Here's an Orchard Spirit, which would have been nice to have, but I need removal. I mean, there's so little removal in green-white already. I don't have any Prey Upons, and I have 1 Fiend Hunter. I don't even know if I have any other removal spells, but I pick up a Blazing Torch here to complement that removal, so it's pretty nice to pick that up here. Then here, there's nothing in the pack for me, so I think I'm going to go for a Bramble Crush, which kind of sucks, but now that I think about it, I may have actually been supposed to run the Bramble Crush in my deck, because with Avacyn's Pilgrim, that means that I can knock one of their lands out like turn 3, so that could really slow them down, plus the fact that it just destroys any non-creature permanent, means that I can get rid of artifacts and enchantments and stuff, and there was a lot of good artifacts and enchantments being passed around. But anyway, I go for Mask of Avacyn here. Did I just talk about Bramble Crush and not take it, because that would be awkward. I know I get a Bramble Crush at some point, but I take the Mask of Avacyn just because I'm lacking playables and I need one. Here I take the Hollow Hunch Scavenger, another decently playable card. Gains me 5 life when it enters the battlefield, and it's a 4 or 5 beater, so it's really, it's not a terrible card. There's nothing in this bag for me again. There's a Sensory Deprivation and another good blue card. I can't remember exactly what it was, and I can't really recognize it from that small little view I got there. But anyway, I go for the Spare from Evil, which is obviously not a great card, but needed to run it. And here I pick up the Bramble Crush. Still nothing for me in these packs. There's like a Claustrophobia or something, like a really late Claustrophobia. I don't know. I saw a really late Claustrophobia at some point. But I managed to table the Unruly Mob from my opening pack. I opened Unruly Mob, Festside Boar, and Avacyn Spilgrim. So that's pretty nice for me. I got another playable creature, and he works pretty well with this archetype. And here is one of the latest intangible virtues in the history of the universe. And the problem is the only token makers I have are Increasing Devotion and Mausoleum Guard, so I don't think I'm really going to even consider taking the Increasing Devotion here. But if I changed my deck around a little bit and picked up a Gather in the first pack, because I think I saw a couple, then maybe I could have actually done that, and that would have been pretty cool. And if I had gone blue, then I would have had the Homunculus tokens too, so who knows, maybe it could have worked. Anyway, taking Inquisitor's Flail. You don't really want to run Inquisitor's Flail, but if you are out of playables, then it's something that you can run. I'm going to grab a Wooden Stake here. And then a couple of last pick, not really playable cards. I think this one is a Kindercats, which I'm not going to run, and then a Curse of the Pierced Heart. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll try to upload the game soon. Have a nice day. Bye.